Hi everyone, welcome to our workshop series. This is Climb Your Everest Leadership Skills workshop series. This is, I think, session number 14. This is a 6 months program which we invite women from Nepal and India, mostly teachers, to participate in the leadership workshop and learn different leadership skills. So today we want to talk about social change, how to bring social change. Why is it important for us to bring social change? And a lot of us as human beings, we want to change the world. We want to create new things. We want to empower other individuals, but we don't know where to start and what to do, right? So the number one reason that we want to learn about social change and how to create social change and kind of talk about why is it even important for us to do social to learn how to bring change in our societies is that it is empowering for us. Understanding that how we can create it empowers us because now we know we can take actions, make positive impact, make a difference, right? So that's the number one reason. Number two reason, addressing injustice and inequality. Like in many societies, individuals and groups of people, and even groups of people in the society, they are facing systematic injustice and inequalities. So we want to be able to address those. And sometimes as a person, we think, I'm just one person. I cannot change the whole world. I cannot change my society. So we feel like helpless and powerless. So learning how to create social change equips us, each person, to learn tools, gain some knowledge, even though it is challenging, even though it might be, sometimes it is hard in oppressive structures, but we're learning how to advocate for marginalized communities and help others and promote quality and justice. So that's another reason we want to learn how to create social change. Another reason, like why is it important for us to learn social change, is that it fosters social responsibility, right? When we learn about social change, it cultivates a sense of social responsibility and empathy, right? It encourages us to consider the well-being of other people, not just us. I'm not going to be the selfish person only thinking about myself and my life and my family. No, we are able to develop some empathy, think about others, be active members of the society, right? Kind of re-understanding, learning interconnectedness. Sometimes we forget how connected we are. Like as human beings living in a society, even on the same planet, we are so connected and we forget it. It is normal, we get busy with daily lives and breakfast, lunch, dinner, and traffic, and we forget. But we are all connected, right? And as individuals, we are motivated to take actions and contribute and help others and be inclusive, but sometimes we forget it, right? So learning about how to bring social change, especially for you as educators, as teachers, is that you can teach your students how to bring that to your school, to your classes. Next reason is amplifying voices, right? So I want us to practice amplifying our voice for marginalized groups, right? To help them, to ensure the perspective are heard and valued, right? Sometimes we forget, sometimes you're not aware of it, and that's natural, it's normal. But when we learn about social change, it amplifies our voice and the voice of marginalized people, right? And we can be an advocate for them. We can be allies for them and help them face the systematic barriers and discrimination that they are facing in the society, right? And create a more inclusive decision-making processes in the society for ourselves, for them, and for our community. Next reason that why we are learning social change is creating sustainable impact, right? When we learn how to effectively bring social change to our communities, we learn how to plan, how to strategically look at the plan, how to strategically take actions, how to collaborate. And by learning all of these strategies and approaches, then we can develop a deeper understanding of how to create sustainable and long-lasting impact, right? And we can easily or easier see the barriers, the impact, like how to implement uh, the next step or the next action, or it is easier for us to see the root causes of the social issues and implement some evidence-based interventions and work towards systematic change. And overall, it is really inspiring. Like when we can bring social change, it is very inspiring because we feel empowered. We feel like I can make a difference. I can teach someone else to make a difference. I can teach my students to make a difference. So it is inspiring for me. It's inspiring for my family, people around me, my students, everyone, right? So that's why we want to study social change. Okay, so let me start by sharing the slides that I want to share with you today. There you go. All right, can everybody see the slides?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me move this over here. All right, great. Okay, so the social change ecosystem map, this framework is designed by Deepa Iyer. I sent an email and told her actually that we are using her slides and this is her program. So I want you to know, and I'm gonna send you this slides. I already got permission from her and she is so, can everybody see this slide better? Because I kind of made it bigger. Is it better now or no? Yes, maybe. Feedback, please.
There are two sides.
Two sides? Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
let me maybe make it a little smaller, I guess. That's how her page is. Let me, okay.
But we can still see it also.
I want to have it bigger. So that's, I think this way it is a little bigger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little big. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna make it. Okay, great. All right, so the social change ecosystem map. So she developed this. So today we want to look at these different characteristics. And I want you to tell me which one of characteristics speaks the most to you, like you understand it better. Like, are you a guide? Are you a weaver? Are you an experimenter, frontline responder, visionary, builder, caregiver, disruptor, healer, storyteller, right? So all these characteristics, we're going to look at them and see which one speaks to you the most, all right? So these are the definitions that we want to look at. So number one, weavers. So who is the weaver? I see the through lines of connectivity between people, places, organization, ideas, and movements. Are you a person that you can see the connections between people? You can see the connections between organizations. It's so easy for you to see the connections. Are you that person? So I want you to just think about it. If you're a weaver, write it down somewhere. Write down, I'm a weaver, okay? Or are you an experimenter? So I innovate, pioneer, invent, I take risk, and course correct as needed. So are you an innovator? Do you invent things? Are you the first person to start something and everybody else follows you? So are you an experimenter or no? Just write it down for yourself. Next one, frontline responder, which is I address community crisis by marshalling and organizing resources, networks, and messages. Okay, so are you that frontline responder, the person who addresses the community crisis. You're the first person, you organize resources. If there's a crisis, if there's a problem, you're the first person who's responding, bringing people together. So if you're that person, write it down. Next one is visionaries. I imagine and generate our boldest possibilities, hopes and dreams, and remind us of our direction. Are you this person? Are you a visionary? You sit down and you think about, this is my vision. I'm going to create this big, huge thing. And you see big hopes, big dreams, big possibilities, right? So are you that person? So write it down. If you're a visionary, write it down. Next one, builders. I develop, organize, and implement ideas, practices, people, and resources in service of collective vision. So you're a builder. You build things, you develop things, you organize things, you implement the ideas. So somebody might give you the idea, but you're gonna go build that idea, right? So you don't envision it, but you're very good in building. Next one, caregiver. I nurture and nourish the people around me by creating and sustaining a community of care, joy, and connection. So you are very caring, nurturing, you take care of people, you nourish the people around you, you create a community with care and joy and connection. If you're a caregiver, write it down. Next one, disruptor. I take uncomfortable and risky actions to shake up the status quo, to raise awareness, and to build power. So you're a disruptor. You're not afraid of taking a risk, shaking things, changing things, raising awareness, build power. So if you are okay to be uncomfortable and take risks, then this is you. Then write down, I'm a disruptor. Okay, so write that down. Next one, healer. I recognize and tend to generational and current traumas caused by oppressive systems, intuitions, policies, and practices. Okay, so look at it. Are you a healer? Like if you see a trauma in a family, you go help them heal, you can recognize that you're a healer, and you try, systematically how to help others recover from their trauma. You recognize it and you help. Next one, so if you're a healer, write it down. Next one, storyteller. I craft and share our community stories, culture, experiences, histories, and possibilities through art, music, media, and movement. So if you're a storyteller, write down, I'm a storyteller. I can share the stories and the culture and experiences and histories, right? And lastly, guides. I teach, counsel, advise using my gifts of well-earned discernment and wisdom. So you teach everything you learn. So for those of you who are teachers, you're guides, right? You can be more than 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So whatever you are, just write it down. So if you're a teacher, you're a guide, okay, for sure. So, all right, did everybody have a chance to write down what they are?
Yes.
Any questions from this?
For healers, I have one question.
Okay. All right. How about you, or Maya? Go ahead.
I recognize who are in trauma or something, but I couldn't help. Like I do not have any
Okay. So you
more
recognize
to.
it, but you don't heal. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that's good. How about you, Mina?
Uh, I may stands in a different point, I think. I couldn't see the time. like guides, like I guide the students and the kids. And sometimes I feel like I'm caregiver also, like I have to care my kids and even the students, no, in different activities. And sometimes I feel I'm visionaries also. Like I did environmental science, and uh, I feel like some students, no, they just want to be in that sector because I share that what I feel by studying the environmental science, like related to like when we go for bird watching and different things, no, like current environmental issues. When I discuss with them, give the examples to them when we are in teaching learning activities, then they are many of them are interested, and they told me that now after the high school, like I will also take the environmental subjects further. So they say like that. So I think it's like visionaries, no, I create something
Right,
visions
right,
related to that issues.
right.
And sometimes healer also, like
Yeah, yeah.
healing also, like yoga and something, no, we can give. Like if
Right.
they are having common goal, like we suggest them to just take this and do like that, and many other things also.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, so different things.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. Maya, are you here or you're gone? I think you're on mute. You're still on mute. I cannot hear you.
No, I'm in call, so sorry.
Maya, I called Maya.
Oh,
Okay, I think her microphone is not working. Okay, Maya, go fix your microphone and then come back. Because I think you're on mute. I cannot hear you. Oh, okay.
Ma'am, you have so much noise. That's why
Oh,
I'm unable to.
okay. Can you hear me? Okay, good, good. All right. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we move on. All right, great. So the next thing we want to do, we want to answer these questions. Okay, so take a moment. So now you saw those characteristics. I want you to tell me what values call to you. So based on what you just saw, circle the ones in the middle of the map that connects with you, or add more to, or others, right? When do you feel most aligned with these values? Like for example, I see connections. Like I'm not always like Weaver is a person who see connections, right? So like I can easier see connection maybe when I'm looking at my phone, seeing the names of people. It's easier for me to be a Weaver when I see people, or visionary when I'm meditating, when I am envisioning things. Then it's easier for me to be a visionary. But it for me to be a builder is the easiest. Like building, it's the easiest, right? Like I know I can do it. Or caregiver when I'm around you. Like when I'm in Nepal, I want to be a caregiver. I love being a caregiver, right? But at home when I'm sitting and working, I'm not thinking about being a caregiver. So I want you to think about it. Which one of these stuff speaks to you, it's easier for you, and what are the moments that you feel the most connected to any of these characteristics? Harini, do you want to participate and share?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I
go.
think uh like similar to what you said, I could totally associate myself with being a builder. I might not come up with ideas, but then like I'm extremely good at, like getting them implemented, like getting work done by people. And I feel that that comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
And I also associate well with storyteller because I feel I'm really good at weaving my life experience in the form of a story and uh, talking about it with others and sort of motivating them.
Mhm.
And also, personally, I love mentoring and teaching like whatever I know. So I feel connected with guide as well. So I'd say like those would be my top picks that I associate the most with.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. That's good. Maya, if you want to participate, you can write it in the chat box so then we can see which one of these you are. I know you're a visionary, so vision, you're That one you can write it down. You're a good storyteller, you're a caregiver, so you're a builder. So you want to kind of look at these and write it down for yourself. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So anybody else wants to share? Again, actually, we kind of answered question number 1, so I want to go to question number 2. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger. Oh, every time I go. Okay, what are you seeking to change? Is the system of power a mindset or a policy? You can also choose to write in a particular issue, campaign, or crisis that calls to you to take action. For example, anything about, I mean, all these examples are kind of from 2 years ago, but then it can be any change. Like, I want you to think, like, what sort of change do you want to bring to your society, to your community? I remember last time, not last time, the time before last time that I was in Nepal, we did this exercise together about social change. Some of you wanted to do, to work with animals, rescue animals. Some of you wanted to do women empowerment. Some of them wanted to do bring some social change in for teachers and for education and educational system in Nepal. And some of you wanted to kind of learn about financial literacy and teach financial literacy. So there were different social changes that everybody wanted to do. So I want to hear from each one of you, or you can also type in the chat box or just unmute yourself and say, what kind of change do you like to bring? Mina, do you want to go first?
I just want to share one experience. So 10 years back, before in Nepal, like yoga practices is just like oriented to the tourist. And if some Nepalese, they want to practice yoga, they need to pay a lot before,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
And now, and after that, like in my place, like we are the first batch, no? Like we have some like 15 days training. 15 days training of yoga, the general, no, that of that Ramdev, I think, the practice that yoga. And then what we start, like my friends and me and some people in my society, what we did that, like we start the free yoga in my community, because what we feel on that time, like especially the female, no, the elder females, so they want to do, because after 40s and 50s they have lots of health problem, like their knee paining and many other things, even they can't work, and regularly visiting hospital is not possible for them. So if they regularly do the practice of yoga, like respiration and small those the whole body movement activities like Surya Namaskar and some other, you may know about that. So it will make them fresh for the whole day. So 10 years back, we started that. And now I'm really happy to share you that now in every community in Bhaktapur, like there is free yoga practices. And every day, morning from 5 to 6, and they practice yoga, especially the older age people. And 1 hour they practiced, and they are feeling free and good nowadays, I think. So before I also used to do yoga, but now I'll do at home because of kids. I couldn't join on that place. Yeah. And after a few years, I think when my kids get older, I will again join there. And one change what I saw there is, along with the good health, like especially the oldest people in my community, they do not wear that. They only wear the sari. I think you know that, the sari, and that is not comfortable for them. And when we talk even to my grandma, let's wear the kurta and pants, this and that, and they feel odd. Oh no, we haven't wore that before, so we will not. And when we start yoga, no, because we have different exercise related, we need to do by sleeping, not only jumping, but sleeping. And by wearing sari, it's difficult to do yoga. So slowly they start to wear kurta now, kurta and trouser, because that will be comfortable for them, no. And now we can see now in every family, especially the older age people, they feel comfortable in wearing kurta and even pants. So that is the change I saw, and that is good example, I think.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
great. That's amazing. That's beautiful. I like it. I remember last year we were talking and you said you want to start doing yoga more.
Yes, yes. Now I do at home only, but I want to join there. No, it's really interesting to join there.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
After a few years, I will join.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great. How
Thank
about
you.
you, Nisha? What change do you want to bring to society? You're on mute.
In Viratnagar, there is the community who work together to make like roads for the community only.
What?
And
Say it again.
in Viratnagar,
Uh-huh.
the community are divided to make for this area to they should make roads by
Uh-huh.
themselves
They're
only.
building the roads.
Yeah, by themselves by arranging donation and talking with the um like talking with for the materials, contacting the hardwares and all. And I saw from that community only, few of them becomes the working person who visits the for the raw materials and who calls for the engineer for the inspections and all. And I have seen that they buy cheap materials just to make roads only, but not of high quality. And I have seen that, and I have clicked photos, and I told my mother to. And they gathered in the meeting and discussed they found out that the bricks that needs to be used is far from the quality that they actually used for building road. And they discuss so much, and from now on they say we'll hand over our money directly to the government, and they will make I want to make changes that that roads is for all people, but they just for some amount of money they make small changes will be harsh in the future. Development is for the our betterment, but they use low quality of bricks like cement too, and contact engineer, and they contact local body authorities, and they came to the decision that we will give us the donation, and some part will be aided by the government, and will make the roads in your community area. I want to change that. Our people only just manipulate things just for and think for only for themselves, but not about the community. I want to change that.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. That's great. Maya, do you want to write down what social change do you want to bring in the chat box, or do you want to say it? If there's, is it still noisy?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for giving me the chance. And I would like to mention one thing. In Nepal, especially in community school and also in private school, and we are getting such education, we really don't know what it will make our like futures, and just it's mean like a theoretical education. So I want to change one thing, because if that theoretical education change into the practical education, then we can learn so many things that we have that kind of education, how to make our food, and how to manage our city, and how to manage our household work. But we really don't know the practically how can we solve the practical household things, and how can we make forward the things. And so we need this time, it's a 21st century, and we need practical best educations. And and on this stage, there are so many NGOs and INGOs, and also in Nepal government is giving several workshop and training for school level of student, and also for teachers, and also for community people, that how can they generate money, like financial literacy and other training, climate change training, climate change related training, and adaptation and mitigation training. But they are just giving that training but not giving the opportunity to them, like how they can generate financial, how can they become a financial independent. So I think if that theoretical education change into the practical best, then people can change their life, I think so.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Okay, great. Harini, do you want to talk about the social change you want to bring?
Sure, yeah. I actually am passionate about two things. So the first one is like women and uh, kids empowerment, like like teach them the skills that they need to become independent, and especially in like I grew up in India, so it's a patriarchal society. So help women break out of that. And also I'm passionate about animal welfare. So one of the things that I really want to work on is reducing the population of stray animals in India. Like if I go to my hometown, it's full of stray dogs. So one thing that I want to do is do something about it and reduce their population. So yeah, those are the two things.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so let me go back to the slide. I want to share a couple of questions. We don't have to answer them now. We can answer them. We can think about them and we can answer them later. But the questions are, what roles do you feel comfortable and natural? So which one of these roles are natural for you that makes you feel alive? And why does it make you feel alive, right? And are there any differences between these two responses for you to explore, right? So kind of look at it and then kind of look at it like why some of the roles are easier and why some of them make you feel more alive, and why. And then what is the impact of playing these roles? Like physically, how do you play, how do you feel? Energetically, how do you feel? Emotionally, how do you feel? Spiritually, how do you feel? And what and who sustains you? So if we go back up here, like kind of look at these, like actually if you look at the map, weaver, experimenter, frontline responder, visionary, builder, caregiver, disruptor, healer, storyteller, guide, which one of these, and these are the definition down here, which I'm going to send you this information. So kind of I want you to look at it, and then which one of these makes you feel more alive? And then which one of these is like, and then why that one is making you feel more alive? Or how do you feel about it, like physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually? How does this impacting you, right? Does anyone has something that they want to share right now? Like for me, being a builder, building things, some of it is physically, some of it is work, right? So I feel like I'm using myself, I'm using my body, my muscle. So physically I feel good, right? Emotionally I feel great because probably as I'm working on them, good hormones are happening in my brain, and then I'm feeling, and then my body, and I'm feeling good about them. Like spiritually I feel so connected, right? I feel so connected because I'm building something for other people and myself and my community and my society, right? Same as being a caregiver, right? When I'm caring for somebody else, when I'm nurturing somebody else, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I feel so connected, right? I feel so relieved, like kind of free, relaxed, at peace, right? And that peaceful feeling makes me want to do it even more. Is any of you want to share about how each one of these make you feel, physically, emotionally, spiritually? Anybody likes to share?
I'll say.
Go ahead, Eunice.
Okay, about storytellers. Physically, like I just use my hand to make a portrait or art or paint of something. Like I see And recently I've tried to make like what I see in my environment to sketch in my drawing book. And physically, like I try my best to make the portrait by using pencil and paper. And about like mental health, it art actually works as my medicine to make in track for my mental health. Like due to exam, frequently coming exam, it is much more difficult, like for me, that I get exam anxiety. So I use it as my stress relief one. And about spirit, ah, I just skip this. Okay, about that, I feel like I found myself when I'm portraying something or like drawing, sketching, or painting. I found myself, my inner self. I talk with her, and that's all about.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Please pronounce that. I missed one word, like spiritually or something like
Spiritually, yes. Great.
spiritually. I'll list it.
That's beautiful. All right. Anyone else likes to share?
Okay, ma'am. So for me, like that caregiver and guides, like if some students or somebody are having problem or they are feeling difficult in something, and if I make them clear about that topic, then I feel satisfied by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like guides and caregiving.
Okay. So then basically when you feel satisfied, is it physically, emotionally, spiritually? Which
Emotionally,
one?
emotionally, I feel happy. Like if I make them clear about the things that they are confused or they don't know about that, and I feel happy myself.
Okay.
Emotionally.
So you feel happy physically
Happy,
and
yeah,
emotionally,
and satisfied. Yeah.
satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel it in your body or in only in your mind?
I feel happy, so that means my mind, my body both know.
Have you ever feel so there's a difference when we feel happy in our mind or in our body. I want you to think about it, like think about happiness, like you feel it in your cells in your body, like it's a kind of a butterflies in your stomach or your skin feels happy. Or it is kind of mind in your mind, it's like a concept of happiness. Like I did this good and then kind of intellectually I'm happy.
No, I think my body itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get joy, yeah, happy,
good,
satisfied.
good. All right, good. That's great. I actually okay, great. Maya or Harini, do you like to share?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd say like when I teach someone or when I mentor someone, I feel uh more energetically and like emotionally satisfied. The place where I feel like physically like satisfied and where it impacts me physically is like I volunteer frequently with the animal shelters here. So when I go in there and when I work with animals, I mean I like when I like pick them up or when I interact with them, I would totally feel it physically as well. So yeah, that's one place where I feel impacted, like I feel more satisfied physically too. I could feel it in my body.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good. Thank you, Harini. Maya, do you like to share?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. For me, I would like to choose visionary, builders, healers, and storytellers. At first, I think change mean that we start to if we wanted to change something to our society and also in oneself, then we have to develop our visionary kind of thing, visionary mindsets. If we have a visionary mindsets, then we can at first we have to imagine that what kind of change that we really want for oneself and for others too. And so I think at first I would like to choose visionary, and second one is builders. Just having just have a dream and just imagination, that is not enough. If we really want to do something, then we have to think about how can we do that, like practical things, and builders, and how can we organize the things, and how can we go through up it for the change. So I think second one is builders, and third one is healer. It's mean like identification of problems and what exactly going in a society and happening with us, and if we find our exact problem, then we can find a solution. And for that, healers also, I would like to choose healers. And the fourth one is storytellers. And if we are going to inspire someone, it might be on workshop training, and also in college, and also in our area where we already involved in and working for it. If we have the skill, that storytelling skills, then we can inspire other people. And in storytelling, we need lots of creativity, that how we can create the things, how we can present itself. And I think that is the thing. That's why I would like to choose these 4 points. Thank you.
Okay. Great. That's awesome. Good to hear. So I want you to keep thinking about it. I'm going to send you this material, and I want you to keep looking at it, like which one of these are you in different places in your life? Like when you're teaching at school, when you're at work, when you're driving, when you're on a scooter, when you are cooking, when you're shopping, like when you're talking with your friends, talking to your family, to your neighbors, like to the principal of the school or whoever. Kind of see how you are going through these roles in your life, which role you enjoy the most, you like the most, or you physically and mentally and emotionally can relate to it the most, and kind of try to figure out why this role is easier for me, why I'm enjoying this role better. Okay, kind of think about it. And we're going to continue this conversation later, but I'm going to send you this slide so you have access to it, and you can look at it and you can answer these questions. Even when you gather with your friends and we are sitting together, print this out, look at it, tell your friends, which one are you? Are you an experimenter? Are you a healer? Are you a disruptor? Are you a caregiver? Kind of knowing this kind of it helps you easier to see what are your um, strong suits and how you can bring social change to the world. Okay, so this is just one step, and there are so many steps we're going to talk about, but this is a step number one, kind of figuring out what is your role. Okay. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. Let me stop the recording here.